You know that feeling, right? When a huge event is coming up and you can just feel the buzz building.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's kind of where we are today. We're doing a deep dive into the WrestleMania 41 hype, specifically the World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Jey Uso.
That's right. And you've probably seen some of this floating around. We managed to get, well, excerpts from the official WWE WrestleMania 41 hype package video.
Okay.
So our mission today really is to get under the skin of this buildup, figure out the main stories they're spinning, what's really on the line personally for these guys, and just the whole vibe they're creating for this championship fight.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's maybe start with Jey Uso. The video kind of kicks off looking at him, but differently.
Yeah, it's like they strip everything away, the music, the crowd noise, the chants.
Right, all the usual stuff.
And they ask this really basic question. If you take all that away, who is Jey Uso? What's actually there?
And his answer is kind of striking, isn't it? So simple.
It really is. He just says, well, it's just me, Use. Maybe that's enough.
Maybe that's enough. Wow.
And for you listening, that little line, it feels like a hint, a big shift maybe. Like he's found this self-reliance, this confidence that's just his, not from the fans or anything.
Yeah, it really does feel like a turning point. And you see that confidence pay off, right? He wins the Royal Rumble. Big moment.
Huge.
And then you hear him say it almost like it's just a fact now. Me, main event, WrestleMania.
He's claiming it. Like this is where he belongs now, and he knows it.
But then the contrast comes immediately. He's got his catchphrase, "Yit." Everyone loves it. It's all energy.
Right. Super positive, crowd-pleasing.
And Gunther just cuts through it with, what was it?
4 letters, 1 word, hell.
Oof. Yeah, talk about a mood killer.
It's totally deliberate, isn't it? They're playing G as the fan favorite, the underdog maybe, and bam. Gunther's just the opposite. Pure menace.
It's like light and shadow, seriously.
Yeah.
And then Jey comes back with that line, "I'm not afraid of you no more." You really feel that that character development right there.
You do. And it leads straight into the next thing he says, which is pretty intense.
Yeah. What's that?
He says, I'm going to ask the Lord to forgive me for the man who I'm about to become.
Whoa.
So for you watching, it suggests he's ready to dig deep, find a darker side maybe.
Yeah.
Something he thinks he needs to actually face Gunther. Makes you wonder how far he'll push it.
Which, brings us perfectly to Gunther. Because the hype package doesn't mess around showing his deal. Starts with that brutal surprise attack on Jey.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Just a raw reminder of the physical danger he represents.
No kidding.
And his words about Jey, so cold. He says, I know exactly what you are capable of, and it's a whole lot less than I'm capable of.
Right. Just completely dismissive.
It is. But, it's interesting how the package focuses so much on Jey changing. It sort of plants the seed that maybe Gunther is underestimating him. What do you make of Gunther's, absolute certainty, that almost arrogance?
Well, it definitely sets up that classic dynamic, doesn't it? The dominant champ versus the challenger who's finding his feet. And the way they both talk about the main event label is really revealing.
How so?
For Jey, it's like this huge achievement, this nickname he's earned, a milestone. But for Gunther, it's just Tuesday. It's where he expects to be, no big deal.
Yeah, it's just his rightful place, apparently. There's zero sense of excitement from him about it. Just, expectation.
He even says beating Jey at WrestleMania won't do anything for his legacy.
Right, which is fascinating. He sees Jey as so far beneath him that winning is just expected, not a career highlight. It really shows his attitude towards Jey as, well, not a real threat.
And didn't they call Jey something like a company mascot?
Yep, a company mascot that has no business being this close to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Ouch. That's pretty harsh. Serious disrespect.
It is, and it's clearly meant to get you, the audience, fired up right. Makes you want to see if Jey can prove him wrong, overcome being seen that way.
Definitely.
And then Gunther doubles down. He promises hell every single week leading up to the match.
Right, building the dread.
And says it'll end in the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen.
Right.
He's not just hyping a match, he's basically promising a beatdown.
A really brutal one, it sounds like. And we also saw that bit after Jey Uso got involved. G seems like he might have an opening, maybe some momentum, and then boom, Gunther's back. Zip ties him to the ropes.
That visual is powerful, isn't it? Really drives home Jey's, helplessness against Gunther's pure ruthlessness in that moment.
Totally.
And Gunther's words then?
You could try to take it all away from me. You made the whole damn world stop. Guess what, Uso? I'm still here.
It just highlights his own grit, but also maybe a little resentment that Jey can grab that spotlight.
Using use there, too. Kind of twisting the knife, maybe.
Could be. It's usually a term of closeness, right? Family, allies. Using it there feels different. Maybe like he's saying Jay's lost those connections or Gunther's stripping them away.
And then Gunther goes full egomania, basically, calling himself
The greatest gift this company has ever received.
Yeah, that. And saying he won't let Jey Uso mess that up. The stakes, in his head at least, are sky high.
And he boils it all down so simply, doesn't he? His goal is just to beat the living hell out of Jey Uso and walk out of WrestleMania still the World Heavyweight Champion.
Primal stuff.
Then he sums it up with one word.
Mine.
Mine.
Yeah. Clear message. Ownership.
Total declaration of intent.
So, okay, if we step back a bit, look at the whole picture from this hype package. What are the big themes jumping out?
Well, I mean, for Jay, it's got to be identity, right? That's huge. He's figuring out who he is without all the external stuff and maybe finding his real strength there.
Okay, identity for Jey. And then on the other side,
You've got this clash, Jay's growing self-belief hitting up against Gunther's absolute, almost terrifying dominance. It's kind of the underdog versus Goliath, but maybe more complex.
yeah, feels like it. And the personal stakes seem really high now.
Oh, definitely. It's not just about the belt anymore, is it? It feels deeply personal for both of them, but like for totally different reasons. Based on how they see respect, legacy.
And violence. They keep mentioning violence.
Yeah, they're definitely foreshadowing a really physical, probably quite brutal match. No doubt about it.
So wrapping this deep dive up then, looking at this hype package, you really get a sense of the different mindsets. The animosity is obvious, and they've taken very different roads to get here.
For sure. Which leads to a pretty interesting question for you, the listener, to think about maybe.
Okay.
Which story grabs you more after seeing this preview? Is it Jay finding himself, building that confidence? Or is it Gunther, just this immovable object, totally sure of himself?
Good question. Whose narrative resonates?
Exactly. And based on all this intensity, this animosity, what kind of match do you actually picture now when they finally step into the ring at WrestleMania?
It definitely sets the stage for something potentially explosive, a really personal war for that World Heavyweight Championship. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when Gunther and Jey Uso finally collide at WrestleMania 41.